Hello, everybody. Brian here from quantlabs.net. I wanted to go over careers in finance again, um, specifically regarding those that want to get into this. I've talked about this in the past. I'm the kind of person that doesn't like to repeat myself. But before I get started, a lot of people have signed up for the book, the C++ HFT book. It's now here under our quantlabsnet.com. You can go under the file share for it. You'll need to put in an ID and all that. We don't spam or anything like that. You can always opt out whenever you want. So that book is now available. Again, that's the C HFT book, kind of in detail, high level stuff. So coming back to this regarding careers in C high frequency trading and beyond, one of the things that people need to understand, this is like trying to win a lottery. You have to be top of the game. Um, And when I say that, this is like one in 100, maybe one in 1,000 people getting into these high level brand name firms that pay big money. The odds are quite hard. I just listened to a Bloomberg radio thing, and they talked about the MIT PhD level. You have to do a series of exams that you'd be tested like 5 hour sittings in the exam for just probability, and another 5 hour exam for this. Very difficult to get into. If you get through that and you want to get into the coding with the top research, those are the kind of schools you want to come out of, just as a thing. So there are other options if you're not at that aptitude. We can talk about them and what other areas you can go in this field if things don't work out. We also, I will say, we've got, funny enough, entrepreneurs, traders that have no technical knowledge, teachers, professors, the whole nine yards, a whole gamut of people opting in for this. Probably the first place you can go is the quant developer. It's much easier to get into than, let's say, quant researcher. Um, so you still, I'm always going to recommend, if you're going to try and get in these kind of firms, C++ is the way to go. Some firms have C sharp, Python, and Java, but I would look more Python as being more the secondary language, being meaning that to be on the production level of a trading system or trading infrastructure, you want to be in the compiler languages, C++, Java specifically in the Linux world. Some are in .NET Windows world, so obviously C Sharp's rules there. But where Python differs is that that's more prototyping, quick research. So there's still valuable jobs, but if you want to be Python plus, you want to be in those compiled languages I mentioned. So once you get into a quant developer, you're still getting paid pretty good. But if you want beyond that, you can always go into, if you're a top-notch C++ coder, you might not be the best person on the math and quant trading side, but you may be an all-star C++ programmer. You may still be a network guru or Linux guru, very top-notch. You can go down the self-taught role or path, um, and you can get very well compensated here as well. But you don't need to be a trader to do this, or a mathematician. So this is still a very high lucrative area to get involved with. Like I said, you're getting involved with the networking, operating system, the hardware, and the like, um, and just the basic understandings of financial markets. They want to see that you have an interest in the financial field. But you don't need to be, hey, I can do options, put calls, and here's the formula that goes with it. I don't think you have to be at that level, but if you're really good at C coding and you're really inspired by it, that's a good path to go down. In terms of the quant trader, this is you want if you want premium pay, you want to get into the research side. So being a quant trader, there's nothing wrong with that. You probably will be sitting on a desk, um, needing to be involved with assisting in the research, assisting in the proofing of the models that are being banged out. But usually the head of these trading desks will usually be more in a quant researcher role. that's taken on project management and willing to build out profitable teams for a firm. And those are usually the highest valued within a firm for sure because they generate revenue. So if there's ever like what people are going through right now in terms of layoffs, these people are highly prized. Same with the previous HFT system engineers, highly prized because they're rare. And if you're really good and you're really valued, you never have to worry about getting laid off. That's a good thing. But if you're just, I don't want to say run of the mill quant trader, but you're still above most people. If you have the C++, strong math, statistical, deep understanding of the financial markets, risk management, you're still doing pretty good, but you're not going to get the top. But if you're in this role, you can probably move into the quant research if you're coming out of a good, global recognized PhD school. MIT probably being the top, Harvard, some of the British colleges as well. So nothing wrong with that. So let's talk about getting into the industry. Um, you have to have a strong background. Number one, I've said that before. If you've seen Mark's interview as a student, what he's doing, this is what I'm talking about. You need to be very, a lot of initiative and showing it, a lot of extra outside of the education standard and educational doing as what he's done with the QuantNet, CQF, and the like. Probably a CFA wouldn't hurt as well. But some of these uh, uh, the designations like CFA can restrict you on what you can and cannot do and what you can and cannot say. So always remember that as well. So if you're on your own doing the self-learning thing, this right here is your number one thing you have to focus on is the C++ skills. Get them up, get them into a level of expertise. You want to contribute a lot to uh, open source projects, preferably build your own, start from zero. That's what Mark did for his project that he needed. I think it was in his undergrad. So yeah, it's good to have that. Um, the online courses are going to help too, but I think if they're coming from a garage operation or a basement operation, they may help you to learn, but they may not help you get attention of a recruiter. Now, these two I did not mention in my book that I put out, Boost and Quant Lib. I've looked at those years ago. Quant Lib is still out there on Quant Stack Exchange. Used a lot. That's talked about a lot. I do think industry is using that. Um, so know that uh, library. That's more for options pricing, but again, that's what a lot of these HFT firms are doing. So understand that library in C++, and there's also, I believe, a front end to other languages like Python as well. But the better you stay in with C++, is the better you are uh, in terms of compensation. Boost is another one. Some will say, whatever. This is a good one to know for yourself as well. STL, Standard Template Library, is another one you want to stick with for C++, basic open source libraries. Networking obviously is the important one. I'll talk about that one I'm hoping to do. Um, Internships is a crucial one. To gain access, there's various ways to do it. A lot of these HFT shops are now putting out competitions. So you have anybody can do it and then get the note. If they're top notch in the competition, they will get attention from the recruiters of that firm. Another way is if you're coming out of an Ivy League school in a master's level, PhD level, usually the firms will line up like crazy to get those students in to do internships. They pay. The highest paying internships are in this space. I can't remember which British firm, but they were paying over 20,000 a month for an intern. Like that's unreal. So not many other professions pay that for an intern in this space. I do remember in Hong Kong that in Citadel they had competitions from the internship level to go through these hedge fund programs to be a hedge fund manager, but still using all these skills, and they would probably be considered the top of the top within Citadel itself because of you have the quant, you have the coding, you have the math skills, but we want more than that. We want to take you to the places of the highest level in a corporation like Citadel to be paid out in the millions, probably. That's the areas you got to go into the level of running portfolios and being a hedge fund manager internally within these big firms. So there is that. And the funny thing is about this one program, I don't know if that program, that competition exists within US or anywhere in the West, like Europe or UK. But I do remember there was a specific one in Hong Kong from Citadel. So just to show you, maybe they might be putting a special attention on that region because of the intellect coming out of that region, out of, kind of China, Southeast Asia, and whatnot. Sorry, Southeast Asia. Um, but again, I don't know these things. So again, as I always say, do your own research, confirm, come back to this video, comment away on it. Now, as I said, these certificate. The networking is important. I'm gonna go on about that. I do think a lot of the higher end events are very expensive. I do remember there was one that virtually no one knew about that cost at least 10,000 euros. This is 10 plus years ago when my profile on HF on the HFT space on YouTube, where I was the number one at the time. A lot of insiders were inviting me to these conferences. They assumed I had a lot of cash, and and they said the one person that I know and follow that some of you may know, he's retired a long time ago. Um, he said, "Come to this event. It's only quants. No riffraff will be there. That's why they charge that kind of money when there's no riffraff. That we're talking about the guys, the basement quants. You know what I mean? The ones from the inside of the high end firms that are well known, that have the brand that we've talked about in past videos. So if you can get in those fields, that's the better. And a lot of people don't know about them. Tab comes to mind, TABB. One of them. I haven't seen them around for a while, but Tab was one of the leaders in the quant space. I don't know if they're around anymore. And HFT as well, I believe they did put attention on. Anyways, I'm coming back to this certifications. I did talk about the CFA. I'm sure the FRM, financial risk manager, is the same. What they do restrict you, what you can and cannot say, and they will restrict you what you can and cannot do. Here, I'm not either of them. I was thinking of going after a CFA many years ago, but then I did talk to somebody from Goldman Sachs. Even if you're in a firm like Goldman Sachs, you're really strict. You're really restricted on to talk about your job, where you work, about the employer, your thoughts on the markets, because they own you when you go to these type of firms. We're talking about the likes of Goldman Sachs. The other thing that came out of that conversation was is that he also said that if you don't need to, do not get a CFA. Don't get any of these certifications because they will restrict you. Again, that's my view. I want to be independent from all this so I can freely talk about whatever I want and not be restricted on stuff. So the CFA can do that and will do that because you're now part of their uh, sorority, I guess you could call it. And yeah, they will restrict you. It's good to be in that, but the thing is, you don't if you're going to be independent, the better. But if you want these kind of careers and jobs, you have to have these type of designations. Okay, so let's talk about where I'm going in. So now a lot of people are attracted to auto trading. Now, as I said, I'm opening this up as an option. I've been very quiet about it. If you're still here in the video, if you feel you're not able to succeed in the world of C++ HFT level. And believe me, if you're very good and you want to go down the independent path, the DIY, do it yourself path, you could probably do well at it. But you got to be very dedicated in this space. If not, or you need a secondary plan, this right here is going to probably be pretty good for you. Or you're like me in your 50s and you're worrying about portfolios and stuff and how your portfolio does. So, as an option, I've been bouncing around from trading platform to platform. Lots of good platforms out there, but they're restricted on what they can do. TradingView is another exception to that, but is the absolute number one place to go. Anything to do with trading, investing, whatnot, because and there's a social component of TradingView. It's absolutely the number one place to go, and I would say their audience is way bigger than the combined audience of Bloomberg and CNBC. In fact, that's how big it is. So as it says here, this is a user-friendly platform. If you want to know more, what I'd strongly recommend is go on this Learn, because now I've got the autoresponders working. So within a day, uh, you will get the link to the book. Also, you will get a link to a 45-minute video that will give you a high level uh, a description of what TradingView can do. So people are going to go, is it suitable for high frequency, low latency? My answer is sort of yes. So, but you're going to be not be working with C++ or Java or C Sharp. You're going to be working with their proprietary language of PineScript. You can, and I've shown in past videos, and I have to be very careful here on how to approach it because TradingView are kind of sensitive on this. There are ways you can get that access to data on the exchanges for like under 10 seconds even and see the data, how it flows on all the major future contracts. That you can't get anywhere else. You can't get that on standard platforms. So even if you wanted to learn and see it from a visual perspective and play with the standard indicators and strategies that come with TradingView with over 100,000, this is a place to live and breathe, to learn about the trading side of things. And you can still do a lot in PineScript. So again, there is that option. And it's a very low price. You wait it out to the Black Friday, November, you will get an unbelievable deal of like 80% off for an annual plan with TradingView. For the premium, the higher end, I think it's premium, whatever they call it, for just a couple $100. So out of that, if you are another person that wants you to set up a trading operation, a trading business, algo trading, we can do that too because we have procedures in place to set that up for people. Again, we need to know about you, who you are. Just go to the Learn tab here at quantlabsnet.com to get more info about that. Also, in there, you'll learn, you can book a 15-minute call with me as well under here, book online. So we can do that as well. All right. So, coming back to TradingView, couple things here we need to really understand. So this is where it's going to get a toss up between the C++ HFT path or the TradingView path. I think if you decide to take the C++ and HFT path, you still got to know about trading. With the markets just today tanking August 2nd, and pretty deep dives, I might add as well, like 2-3% down for the market. You still got to know about trading. What causes that? So you still got to know about the trading. So if you're an HFT guy or a C++ guy, you still got to know this stuff. You got to live and breathe it, and you will be tested on this as well to show that you're highly motivated to learn this stuff, not just be in the field and collect a paycheck, because they don't want those kind of people. They want people that are highly motivated in this. All right. So um, the skills we've already talked about. You have the passion, the adaptability, know about risk management. This is the key one right here. No matter where you go, you got to have continuous learning because the markets change so dynamically. We could have volatile markets, and you got to know why, and you got to know all about the math side of it. If you go deep with the HFT stuff, the high frequency trading stuff as well, so you got to know that. So even if you go down that path, you got to know it. So the continuous learning is what I'm building out right now. As I said, if you want to know about your particular situation, I can give you some guidance. But what I'm doing right now is I've introduced three groups on this new domain, quantlabsnet.com, is built on Wix. And I chose Wix on purpose because it has they have a great relationship with Google, and it gets this new domain out of the gate. And we're doing, for the short time that this domain's been up, it's been phenomenally, surprisingly good. And thanks to everybody on that. But anyways, these three groups we have here is the elite programming, which is the C++ HFT stuff, um, a free group that I have for just general chit chat, and then the finance group as well. So under here, under the Quant Labs Net group, the free one. I just put up news in there just to keep the group alive. The whole point of it is to get a community of people on that don't want to pay nothing, assess, whatever, and build a group out of that. So that's there. It's free. Whoever wants it. The other group that I have for the analysis, the financial stuff, the trading, what to trade, what not to trade, is right here under the quant finance group. Here, um, we've got all the different things that I post. What stocks, what ETFs to buy, the general hot flow of the market, including forex, commodities, and the whole 9 years. So I've got all that set up as well. Again, that's chargeable. If you get into my email, you'll learn about that. The other one that's more important for anybody that's um, interested in the programming stuff. I've started building this out over the last week. This is the Quant Elite Programming group. Here, what this includes now, it's very important. I'm hoping that people have downloaded the book. And in here, what you'll notice if you've read it, and remember, the book is high level. It's very basic. There's no expansion in that. If I went into coding examples, I think that book would never be seen. It wouldn't be read because it's so complicated. You have 200 plus pages just talking about the HFT space, setting up an HFT firm. It's over 200 pages. So you can imagine how vast that is. So what I've done from the programming side, I've started posting places to go. And I'm going to try to do this every day, is to post this kind of stuff from other groups. So for instance, and there's more of a focus on C++ and Python, but there is some articles that will come out on Java and C Sharp and even JavaScript. But just to give you some examples here, here's an article on the C Primer book. Um, we also got here questions about a neural network demo. So if you're interested in building out a neural network, I have a link here where to go on Reddit on how to do that. And then those groups are good enough for the comments as well. In here, you'll notice one of the areas to cut down on HFT efficiency or optimize it is its const expression. There's a very specific question on that here. Another one I mentioned in the book is about hardware. So let's say in hardware we've got where was it? There is a hardware question on here. Um, Anyways, I'm not going to get into that, but there's a hardware question again, and some of these are specific to the world of finance. Another one here, you'll notice here there was one on neural net demos being set up. So the machine learning is already covered. Here's one on the AI generated. Okay, multiplayer trivia game. Sometimes you're going to learn outside the space of trading, but you can still apply that from that kind of project and apply it to your needs in the AI world when it comes to finance. So that's why I post this sort of stuff. This stuff is specific for people that want to know about trading, but they're very specific on Reddit. But I don't just put out there from Reddit. I've got the other ones from like Python library and LibHunt and all that. So there's a lot of different sources I use, but a lot of it's from Reddit because that's where most of the action is in terms of specific questions. So I do have that. I think there was one on here you go, mathematical library for C and Ruby, neural network from scratch in Python. So this is where it's all valid. Again, this is going to be unfortunately chargeable. We also got examples of quant and trading as well. Questions on log return on short selling, DIY following, allocations, and so on and so forth. A lot of these are coming from the space of of, uh, of actual traders on the inside. I do believe, based on the questions I've seen. Also, we got Quantpedia in there as well, and some other really good sources that you probably won't know about, but I do post them in there, and that's again every day. Okay, so that's what I'm doing with that group. So what I'm saying here is this is a group. you get people over time building up into this group, asking questions within here, that would be good too. It's specific to things that I'm trying to get out there as well, because as it says here, um, on that tip, which is the key here, it's about networking right there. That's important in a private group as well. And that doesn't get out on a Google at all. So you be able to do that confidently without the likes of the Quant Exchange or Reddit. There are posts that will be put out there on Google, and Google will see it. So that if you're from the inside of a firm posting those kind of questions, and believe me, I think firms will know how to get around that um, by seeing if it's from within a firm by tracing their IPs or whatnot, and right down to who's posting what. I'm sure a lot of these firms are very good at knowing who's posting what in these type of open source forums. So the key here is that we build it up privately, so it's not this stuff does not is not searchable on online because we're going to keep it private. So that's one of the key benefits there. Same with the auto trading as well with TradingView. Again, if you want to talk to me outside of just opting in into here, uh, where you get your C++ and that video about TradingView, you can also, as I said, you can book online as well. Talk to me as well. I'm not sure. I'm going to continue doing this. I can do it for the next couple of weeks. Some of you may or may not know, but where I live here in Canada, and I'm going to say the same about North America, I'm out, and I'm going for 5 weeks looking for my future home into Europe, see how that is. So I may be kind of limited over those 5 weeks, and that starts in a couple of weeks, August 23rd till the second week of October. That's all booked and solid. And as I also said, I should also mention I have tried to put out um, requests, see if people want to hook up in either London, UK, or Zurich, Switzerland, or maybe Geneva as well. No responses. So out of that, I do have a set of meetup groups I'm going to try that with as well. But I've tried, nobody's interested, so I move on from that topic as well. So again, no matter what, you have the two choices for now: either to opt into my email, I don't spam, I don't do any of that stuff, and then the book online if you want to talk to me directly about your career, about your goals, what you should do, should you use TradingView, what are your options? We can do that as well. And I charge a very small amount just to protect my time to keep a lot of we'll call them tire kickers out of the to weed them out because I want to talk to serious people. And if serious people will pay a couple of bucks, but the tire kickers will never pay. So I personally, no offense to anyone like that. I don't want to talk to them. I got to protect my time. Other than that, thanks for watching. Have a good day.